14th of April. And if you can hear them, that's great, but that's a church. Very entertaining, engaging, well, here we are. Dear, oh dear, can you hear those bells ringing like mad? If you can, that's a lot's going on this morning, obviously somewhere out there in Spain. They love their bells. Yes. Emily says, hello everyone, and hello Emily. Lovely to see you. Emily's a very talented lady, I must say. Lisa Morgan, very, very good morning to you. And also, good morning, says Susanna. So, yes, great. Lovely to see you guys. And yes, I think we have a very interesting show packed up this morning. And also the astrology, what's coming up over the next week or so, and even beyond. So beyond, you say, why's all this? Well, we've got a full moon coming up, and we need to discuss this as to find out what's going on out there, and to bring you guys lots of information, updates, and also mini readings, of course. Of course, as you go through April, you want your mini readings, you want your spring readings. So with that, we need your date of birth. We also need your favorite color, and we also need a question. That is it. Anyway, without further ado, I think it's about time I go and find whether she is, go and find my good friend, and yes, an astrologer and professional psychologist and psychologist and astrologer. Yes, and now my dog's on the go. Oh my goodness! Right, it's all happening now. Anyway, let's go and see if she's there. Yes, I think she is. Right, okay, right, here we go. Oh, good morning. Can you hear the bells out there?
Barely.
Okay, they're going like the clappers out here. In Spain, they have more holidays than I know of any other country. But you're Spanish. You're going to say, no, we don't.
Is that we have lots of local holidays. That's the thing. Well, every town has their own local holiday.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
And there's the regional holidays, the national holidays, and the local holidays.
Yes.
So it gets all mixed up. I believe in England you only have like national holidays. There's no local ones.
No, there's no local ones. No. It's apart from when you decide to take a local holiday personally yourself. Yes, that's very localized. It's in your house. That's how localized that is. Good. Okay, so how are you?
Still a bit tired. Still with the effect of, the spring, as I spoke about, I think a couple of shows ago now, that like if we come from Pisces, and Pisces is water, and then in Chinese medicine, the water element is the base, is the origin. So if water is not balanced, then when the surge of energy appears, the fire energy of Aries or spring appears, then there's no sustain. It can't be sustained. So you go tired, or you have headaches or stuff like that. So I'm still a bit tired. I'm still purging, but of course we do have Pluto squaring, I believe, squaring the Sun and Venus.
Okay, we're going to have that in just a second. We'll bring this up and to tell you guys what it's all about, and how we can manage this and what we do.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll just go and
Pluto
art. Yes.
Pluto squaring Sun and Venus is still inviting us to purge very old cellular memories, of conflicts, of stories, of maybe guilt or shame or stuff that is very, very buried in the family line, these things the kind of things that you don't talk about, that can't be voiced, that kind of thing.
And it's very difficult to voice them because other people just sometimes don't get it, do they? They don't understand it the way you feel it. And that's the personal experience of the purge, isn't it?
Exactly. So at best, we can feel the physical purge as, I don't know, maybe eczema or spots coming up in the skin, or different type of ailments, or your liver is a bit saturated, or, things like that,
Yeah.
So you could say it's a good time to detox, but that depends also on, like, if you are somebody that's not very well grounded, I don't think detoxing is a good idea. So detoxing is not for everybody.
That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because detoxing for me, sometimes that just wipes all energy out of me. And I feel that the way to do it, I feel for myself, is sometimes being more physical, doing
Yeah,
something like big walks in the countryside, swimming in the sea, doing things like that. Yeah, I
yeah,
feel that's a detox for me. And sometimes people say it's got to be food related or something like this, but no, I don't digest that very
no,
well.
no. You could, I mean, you could have the food detox, but not an extreme one, and together with the physical activity
Yes, yes,
that would help ground you. But if
yes.
you're somebody that it's if it's very easy for you, like you have lots of Piscean energy, for example, you're Pisces rising, and I'm a Neptune in the first house, then detoxing can detach you even more.
Yes, it can do. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. As much as we're talking about health matters through the show, we don't actually go into answering health questions. But regarding energy and the Ayurvedic approach to well-being, yes, we could discuss that. But actually, physical ailments or medical ailments, we leave those to doctors. We leave those to doctors there. But just let you guys know that.
Mhm.
Also, we don't solicit readings. If you guys would like readings, you actually ask for them. We don't come into you and say, "Hey, you need a reading." We don't do that. Just let you know, because sometimes we get the odd person coming in saying that they're asking you to contact them for a reading. We don't do that. We don't do that. So just let you guys know. Okay, right. We're halfway through April. Let's go and find a little astrology chart, and let's go and bring this in.
Yeah.
Meow, ping, as if by magic. I'm just going to find a bit that shrinks that down. There it is. Come on, universe. Let's get you in the middle here. And it's interesting because everything's in almost in the top part of the chart there. Top part of
Yeah.
the chart, as we can
It's all
see.
concentrated. It's all concentrated between Capricorn and Gemini.
Yeah.
I mean, you see a few things underneath, but that's like the Earth, Vesta, and
Yes.
I don't know what that other symbol is. Do you know now?
Part of fortune. That's on the left side, which is in
Oh,
Cancer.
sorry, the part
Yeah.
of fortune. Yeah.
Part of
And
fortune.
the one,
The other two are asteroids. I'm not too sure of those ones, but you also got the moon's nodes, the current moon's nodes, which are over there in Sagittarius and just above, very close to. Well, actually, they're out the way. Mars is moving forwards now. But it's interesting though. You've got two planets about to change sign, haven't you? You've got Mars, which is coming up to change, and you've got Venus coming up to change, and also not far behind it will be the Sun.
yes. But the thing is, so everybody is there between Capricorn and Gemini, so that's a bit like the voyage we're doing now. But I find Vesta interesting there, and that part of fortune in Cancer also. So
Yes,
those two are like saying, Vesta's like oh, it's in Virgo. Okay,
in
so
Virgo,
and that other
6 degrees,
planet is
50
in
minutes of
Leo.
Virgo. Yes,
That other asteroid is in Leo, whatever it is. I can't see even the symbol from here.
yes.
So
Okay.
whatever it is, it's there's Cancer, Leo, and Virgo saying, connect, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, connect with yourself, to be you. No, those
Yes,
three are saying that to do this. Capricorn through Gemini. So the voyage or the trip from Capricorn to Gemini is basically, so Capricorn is low vibe, is patriarchy, is believing in external truths instead of your own truth, and the high vibe Capricorn is being aware, being conscious of your patterns, letting them go, to be able to align with your higher self, and
yes,
then come out to Aquarius, connecting to other people, Pisces, which connects us with compassion,
yes,
and also organizing ourselves better, like reorganizing in a different way, letting go of the past and things that don't serve us anymore without the need to close circles. That's Pisces. So Pisces says, just, forget it. Let's move on, right? So let's move on and do what? Let's go to Aries. Let's connect with our soul essence, with what we really want to do, with what we are really aligned with. And right now there's like Chiron, Mercury, Ceres, Sun and Venus in
yes,
Aries.
yes, yes. There's a load there. Yes,
The load. So Mercury is the Chiron is slowing us down a little bit there, but it's also allowing us to make sure so that we step onto the next stones, Mercury, Ceres, Sun, and Venus, more mindfully.
yeah. I can.
And also,
Yes.
there's
Mm,
also another part about Chiron and Aries. So it's a wound in the masculine, together with that Pluto in Capricorn, squaring the Sun and Venus. So that part is bringing up the wounds that Neptune is just saying, let them go, which are wounds related to poor use of the masculine energy, like, for example, via violence or via abuse and stuff. So there's still some cellular memories that are there that are dragging us back and say, yeah, do Aries, but be mindful of how you're doing Aries. Are you just, because when we do Aries, when we go for what we want, when we do what we want to do, but we're not mindful of what's triggering that, it could be internal trauma that's triggering that. And we're all traumatized because we live in a traumatized society. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Just answer yourself these questions. Do you doubt? Does your head go spin around like crazy, like the monkey mind? Do you need to justify yourself? Do you feel guilt or shame? Do you shame others? Do you feel embarrassed by others? Do you believe that others are guilty about something? Well, these and much more. Or do you go around like I like to say, like a chicken without a head? If you say yes to any of all of these, you're traumatized. So you've got traumatic
Yes.
cellular memories in your body. And
Yes.
seriously, it's everybody. So we're all in the same thing. It's like, do you have an ego? Are you identified with your ego? That's caused by trauma. Okay, so we have to heal the masculine to be able to bring out the divine masculine, to be able to really truly go after our soul's desire. Otherwise, we're just recreating the past.
And that's interesting because one of the things that Chiron is doing is actually making a very strong link over to the south nodes in Sagittarius. And where you were talking about healing, and the south node more about the past. So you're being asked to let go of the past. And Mercury, which has already passed it, but still in the same sign, it's a communication of talking about things. And it's interesting, a lot of people who are now talking about letting go of their past and stepping into the future. And how sometimes we can use the present, although the past is attached to the present, is what we could do now to springboard forwards, but be in our true selves, letting go of the traumas. And it's interesting when you say those elements there. Shame. Do you feel guilty? Do you have to justify yourself? Do you always feel like you're having to say what you mean rather than just being? And I think maybe this year is one of those important years where we're having to shift that energy before we go into the new energies coming up through next year and beyond. And what's interesting here in numerology, I think we were talking about this a little bit last week. In numerology, most of us here, not all of us, most of us here were born in the 1980s, 1960s, 1970s. And there was always a prominent one there. As we come into the 2000s, we've lost a lot of that one because the higher frequency, or the new frequency now, is now 2. And it's interesting how we're all communicating because we're not
2-0.
talking now. Sorry, 2-0. Yes.
2-0.
Yes, yes. And it's interesting how we're all now communicating. We're not communicating the way we used to. Get on a phone, talk to each other, write letters, express ourselves more so. Now we're just sending emojis. Now we're just sending, for instance, I was actually talking to a lady the other day who's quite traumatized at work because she sits at a desk and 5 desks away is her manager. And she's just sending her emails asking her what to do rather than actually talking to her. She said, it's just gone bonkers. Why can't someone come over to me with a cup of coffee and just say, hi, how you doing? Good morning. Here's a list of things to do today. Let's have a discussion about this. It's not. It's just email. She said, there's no communication. And I said, yes, it's interesting. We are entering a new era. But it is, as humans, we are designed to talk. And that really is a good thing to try and, although we are losing the one, it's rebalancing the one. Because although it's gone from the 1900s now in the year 2000s and beyond, it is interesting. We still need to use that harmony of one, even though it's not there, to communicate. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So this brings me to, and then I'll finish up with the Taurus and Gemini energy, which I'm not forgetting. But
Okay.
I had a conversation with a seagull this morning.
The seagull. They're always good to have. Yes. Last conversation I had with the seagull, he nicked my ice cream.
No, that was somebody else. That you saw that on TV.
No. I did have one.
No, this is the thing about I have Neptune in the first house. Neptune rules Pisces, so this Neptunian energy allows us to do funny things, you know. So I was having my morning walk this morning. I always go with a camera, take pictures, and then take a walk, right? And then there was a seagull, just doing circles, flying circles above my head all the time.
Yep.
I would move, and the seagull would move with me, and it makes a couple noises, no? So I tried to imitate both noises to engage in a conversation with a seagull, right?
Right.
So then the seagull told me what it was about.
Go on.
So the seagull says the way animals communicate is that they make different noises to be able to, it's like saying, hey, 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 hey. You know how they go, You know, it's like saying, hey,
Yes.
hey, hey, hey,
Hey,
hey,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
hey,
Okay.
hey, hey, I want to communicate. I want to communicate. What is it about you? I want to communicate. And then you repeat the noise. And what I did is I repeated the noise, and by repeating it, I started syncing, you know, synchronizing with the seagull, right? So that kind of thing, no?
Okay.
So
This is
what,
communication. We come out of those ones. We've gone into the twos. Now we're going into new
exactly
communication.
with a two
Animal
zero,
communication. Great.
with a 2 0, because zero is subtle.
Yes.
So it's subtle communication with the other. So I once I synced with the seagull explained that what animals do is that they make noises to be able, like, to call each other's attention and to start syncing. So you will hear a bird going chip 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 chip. That way they start syncing, and you know all animals do that. They make noises, so they listen to each other, so they come into coherence. And once they're in coherence, since animals are naturally coherent in themselves because they don't think like we do, then automatically their energy fields start interpenetrating. So
That
the
is,
information
yes.
one
Yes.
has goes to the other, okay, which is what we call telepathic communication.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels incoherence that are interchanging communication. And all you need is for the heart to be in sync, both hearts to be in sync. And then it happens. So that's what the seagull was telling me. I found it fascinating. And it told me by doing it.
Well, that's interesting because I love nature. I love talking to nature and going around and talking, even if I'm talking to trees. If I'm, I don't mind telling them that and say that I'll do that because I think it's all part of nature. But it's also interesting when you talk about birds and how birds have a telepathic way of communication because you only need a disturbance in nature and they either all go quiet or they all flee. For instance, when the tsunami came or volcano came, tsunami back in 2004, which was in the Indian Ocean. And that was interesting because what a lot of people said was they saw nature change before the waves came. And the birds knew what was happening. The birds knew to get out of the area. Yet people just
Because they
looking around,
can feel
okay,
it. Yeah,
yes,
but we can do that too. The thing
yes,
is, because of this trauma that we live in a traumatized society. So patriarchy is based in trauma. Right now we're out of patriarchy, but we're going to start to heal this so we can regain the connection we had before, but from a different perspective, from more aligned with self instead of a tribal identity as we had before. So the thing is, the only thing that separates us from being able to communicate that way is traumatic memories from the past. So all we can purge and release these traumas, and we don't have to know what is going on. We don't have to rationalize it. And not even that, but we shouldn't rationalize, because you rationalize, you're
holding
suppressing
it.
the memory again. Because by definition, reasoning, rationalizing, the use of the mind is a traumatic response.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And if we can find that, it's interesting about the judgment part about letting things go, how we judge what we're holding on to, and all the reasons why they're then, how we can just let these go, but without a
Yeah.
judgment, without feeling that we've got to justify and so much there, the
Exactly.
ego, so much. Mm.
So the best thing to let go of something is like, oh God, I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling wrong. These strange ideas come into my mind. That is interesting. I accept it, but I let it go. I don't want it anymore. But I've accepted it before.
Yes, I think when that's an interesting point, really interesting point, because when you get a feeling about something maybe to the past, often we although we say there's two levels here, because one is the level that you're saying, the other is the emotional level where we're holding on to it and we feel, oh God, I remember that felt terrible. But rather than saying here, okay, here's a memory from the past there. Okay, I'm just going to let it go here, and actually having the warmth in your own emotions. Say here, actually, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm not a bad person. And we all go through life experiences, but to let something go, and I think through your way there, just to rationalize, not to rationalize it, but just say, okay, there's a thought, there's an experience. I'll let go. I'll think of something nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And or more than think something nice, because then you're thinking, so you're moving,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
the
We've
body.
got to be very careful with the words we use. I agree. Yes, not to think too much, but to feel
Yeah.
it go.
To
Just,
feel. So
yeah.
it's move your energy. Just move your energy. Just
Mm-hmm.
move around, take a walk, dance, to do whatever that moves your energy through. Play music, anything that allows the energy to flow through you.
Which leads us on to the next bit, ladies and gentlemen, is to say to you that
Breathe.
breathe. That's always a good idea. Breathe. Yes, try to keep breathing. It's just seen here, yes, you've got loads of your questions here coming through for readings. We'll be doing those very shortly. Just before we go to do this, so I was going to say to you guys here that if you guys would like to, we've had loads of videos for you guys sending in saying you're doing jumping up and down, you're grounding, doing things like this, which is a great thing to do at this present time. If you would like to send in a video of you grounding in some way, whether you're singing, dancing, doing something. I know Susanna does wonderful things. We've got loads of other guys there doing things here. That's fantastic. I don't really know what's the stars for me. Okay, right. Yes, okay. I need a colour from you, Gyochi. I need a colour.
Um,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And it was Susanna was also saying that I think it's Susanna. She speaks with birds and
Yes.
bees. And,
Birds and bees, yes. Now, I think because you could talk to those. Now, it's been scientifically proven this here, is to say here that you can have an abuse experience with flowers by talking to them. And then when it's ready to do it, is go and talk to some, but not to others. And talk to the ones you talk to, they respond better. The ones you don't talk to, they won't respond so well. So nature does respond. We got to be careful not to be too logical, but to be more in tune with nature and work through our
exactly,
heart.
which is being in tune to yourself and
Yes,
not being up here in the mind.
yes.
That's
It's a
it.
lovely
It's just
feeling when you do that. When you are in that zone and you are in tune with the nature, my goodness, it's a beautiful place. Nothing else worries you.
exactly. Exactly. So then you just tune into whatever you want to communicate with. You just, you feel yourself connected to the flower, you feel the flower connected to you, or the bird, or the bee, or whatever animal you wish, or plant you wish
Yes,
to engage with. And
yes,
you just let that, like when you hug a tree,
yes, absolutely.
and then you just become present and coherent with the tree.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Guys, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Of those of you who have not been here before, where have you been? And okay, this is a spiritual astrology show. We talk about everything spiritual. We talk astrological. We do live mini readings. We just need your date of birth. We just need a favorite color and a question. One question. And we're going to talk, as we do, we're talking about the current astrological times. And we also have your discussions too, which come through your readings there. Yes. Okay, right. Yeah, a lot of people ask. Even Kaz Collins says, I'm struggling at the moment with stuff in the past and trying to get through it. Yes, I can understand this, Kaz, and a lot of people are going through this. And I'm not trying to diminish yours compared to other people, but this is the times we're going through. And is in some respects here, although we have memories or associations or experiences which are connected to the past, how would it feel to actually notice the emotion here and what that emotion is, and then being able to let that particular issue just float away somewhere, but notice what the emotion.
Being more being more specific, Kaz, the idea is that, so whatever your mind interprets that is happening in the outside that you don't like, it's only an interpretation of the mind. The
Yes,
truth is, there's something that you're feeling inside, and our mind is trying to avoid that which we are feeling inside. And that which you are feeling inside actually is very, very old. It comes from when you're a baby, it comes from your ancestors, because we inherit the stuck energies and emotions in the body. I can explain this maybe another day, but
No, it's brilliant. It's yes, I understand now.
we inherit that. And we inherit that the communication comes through the fascia, right? So we are, because of our egoic identification, we tend to cling to those traumatic memories, repeating that past hurt. For example, in my case, I was conceived in Iraq.
Yeah.
And when my mom got pregnant, my dad went off with another woman and sent her off to back to Spain to alone to be alone during her pregnancy until he got back, which was a little bit before I was born.
Okay.
So then I was born in that atmosphere, in that environment. So for me, security is being distant, being alone, and being incommunicated. I
Okay.
don't like this consciously, but it's what I attract all the time, right?
Okay.
So the thing is to be aware of this pattern, to be able to feel, in this case, for example, loneliness or rejection, and being able to release that cellular memory, just feeling it and go, wow, but I don't want this anymore. I feel it, I accept it, but then I go, okay, I choose something different. That's what North Node in Gemini is allowing us, and Mars in Gemini allowing us to choose. Choose what you want. Don't choose the same thing over and over again. Like if you desire something, but you always have feelings of feeling, oh, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, and nothing happens for me, blah blah blah. All these feelings, all these stories you're telling yourself are not actually allowing you to align with what you feel. But you can
Yes.
choose to not feed those thoughts, which in turn feed those feelings. You can choose to begin to have thoughts and feelings that are new, that are different. Okay. So the
Yeah.
important thing is to accept and feel in your body that which you don't want, and thank life for putting you situations and people in front of you for you to be able to feel in your body that which you don't want, and that will allow you to choose differently.
This is a lovely morning. It's lovely. I love all these discussions. They're absolutely they're right up our street, aren't they, guys? Okay, let's do a little bit of this. Then we're back in a moment. Okay, guys, I think it's about time. Are we ready with the trumpet players to say that we're ready to go and do some readings? It's going. Yes! Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. So, okay, working from the very top here, coming down here. Yes?
I have to answer Kaz, and also to finish saying about Taurus is the energy that I haven't spoken
Yep,
about
yep,
yet.
okay.
So Kaz, like that would make you not, according to your comment there, about being adopted. So that would, you probably would feel like there's no place here for me, right?
Uh-huh.
So when we engage from that, from a lack, like when you're a little boy, you want to have a place for you, then you're just stuck in that memory, right?
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
thing is to feel that, to go, oh wow, I have this this hurt inside me. But if I keep this hurt inside me all the time,
Yes.
then I will never have the place I want, right? For me. So then, okay, I choose to let it go. I choose differently. The thing is, when we choose differently, and this is where the Taurus energy comes, because we have Lilith and Uranus in Taurus, and somebody else is there too. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the moon, but that's just a few days or one day.
Yes.
So Lilith and Uranus are there in Taurus, saying we're bringing down new values. We're starting to incarnate new values and new things. So we don't know the shape or form the future is going to have. We might feel it. For example, in your case, Kat, you might feel that there is a place for you in whichever area is important for you. And you can feel the pull of that place, but you can't imagine what it looks like because it's new. We
Yes.
haven't done it before.
Yes.
So the key here is to know, to just feel in your heart that there's a place for you, that you're going to find it, and that it's going to be what you need and what you want. But to understand that you might not know the form, that you might not figure out how it works. For example, in my case, I was I like 2 3 years ago I started envisioning how I was going to expand my message throughout the world. And back then it was just, I don't know, maybe travel somewhere and give a conference or give a class or a course or something, or a weekend retreat or something like that. And I was just toying with those ideas, but that really didn't resonate with me, and I had my own center, my own physical center. And I did say that I want to go all over the world, but I want my base to be my home. I want my home to be my base, no? And I just couldn't imagine 3 years ago how that would be. And now, after lockdown, Instagram, Zoom, and how the world has changed with regard to this, it just makes perfect sense. But of course, I could have never imagined how easy it would be now to do that, to be all over the world, and at the same time have my base at home. So
It's a
can you see? You have the
that's the two
vision.
energy. That's where we lost
Exactly.
the one and we got the two. This is why we're doing this. We're now working more electronically than we are through face to face. That is the new vibe. It's probably, although we're coming out of lockdown, it's still the way of the future, the way we're going to communicate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, right. We're going to shoot up now. I'm going to do some readings, you guys here. And right, okay, we're going to bring this up here, but just to let you know, I've got the other part of your question here. Christiana Stefano, she says purple. Although you ask any chance for pregnancy, we can't answer that. We can't answer those questions because it's health related. But you've also put down a question further on here saying just a general reading, I believe that was. And yes, so 3rd of 1176 and just general reading, color purple. What did he say to you? Okay, would you understand here? Christiana? The first thing I want to like to say to you as I pick up for you here. Would you understand here about whether this is your working environment or whatever environment is around you? Would you understand about the needing at the moment to take control of your power? Take control of your, be in your own power, be your own space there, because the energy around you at the moment feels like people are trying to take power away from you, whether this is work or you're sort of finding that you've got the old battle around you or people like this. So I just feel here, be in your own power and you're going to be fine. I also pick up here, I've got a very nice gentleman who's almost very similar to you in your nature. Don't think this is your father. I think I'm going to go a generation above to your grandfather. But it was very similar to you. And people would say, oh, you two are like two peas in a pod. And this guy here is saying to me here, he says, what he wants to look at here is, he says here, there's a lot for you to work through at the moment. Would you understand this? A lot of you to work through. And if part of it's emotional, here, but I also feel here it's you're coming to a place where you're going, yes, thank you. He just said to me here, you're going to enhance more power, more self-power. And he's over the moon, be able to say this. In fact, he's got a trumpet, because I think he used to play music. He's got a trumpet here, but the trumpet is also saying here, he's getting this message across. You're about to go up in the world by taking on your own power, and you're going to feel super strong with it. But it feels like people have been pulling at you, holding onto your shirt and or pulling on your coat, like trying to pull you down a little bit. And he's saying here, no, this is what's going to change. So I feel here, get strong out there, get strong in yourself, be yourself. Don't be afraid to be in your own power here. And I think you'll be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yes, that's what he wants to say. He's over the moon to be here, still chatting away. And but unfortunately we have a limited time with all the readings there. But let's move on down the line and go and see here what to say with our good friend Guiomar.
Yeah. So Christiana has a stellium in Scorpio. So there's North Node, Uranus, Mercury, Sun, and Mars. A lot of Scorpio energy. And
Okay.
Scorpio tends to give away their energy very easily to other people. With
Mm-hmm.
that Jupiter and Taurus, without any aspects, you're probably very generous, too
Okay.
generous, for sure. Also with the South Node in Taurus, there's a tendency to take on everything yourself, and the learning for this incarnation is all about keeping your power, yes, but sharing with others, because you can go to either extreme, do it all yourself, or try to give yourself away to others also, and just imbalance your power in that sense. There's also Pluto in Libra, which is generational, and there's a Saturn. Well, there's a Neptune Venus in Sagittarius, which makes you an idealist. You want the best for everybody. You want everybody to be happy. But then that Saturn Leo also says that it's difficult for you to connect to your essence. So you can be a bit lost in the sense of maybe your ideals can be too high, and that doesn't allow you to align easily with your essence, which you really have to cultivate.
Love that
So
word. Yeah.
it's a bit this power struggle inside you. Like, learn not to react too much with that moon in Aries and try to people please others. Learn not to go solo on yourself, but actually knowing when to ask for help, when to collaborate, when to not get lost in others, when that idealism has to be grounded a little bit, and not to try to adapt because the fact that you feel different, because you are different and you should think different, and you should allow your differentness to shine in a way. So I would suggest that you cultivate your differences and your differentness, no, and your different ideas and your different values, and to have them very, very, very clear. That will help you connect more with your essence.
I understand that completely. This is what this guy was saying here about I feel being pulled away by other people, but rather need to stay in your own power. Okay, you got your ace here, your ace of diamonds here in front of you, which is a fantastic card because it's about stronger energy in front of you. Getting into yourself here. I agree about asking questions. They're funny there, it goes straight through the screen because it's black. Yes, okay. Right, anyway, yes, we've got the 4 clubs here. 4 clubs is about friendship. It's about needing those people around you. I agree, asking for help sometimes. And you'll find your situation, whatever situation you feel yourself maybe feel a bit stuck in, challenged with, you are going to start moving on. And actually, if things get lighter, stop being hard on yourself. Stop being hard on yourself. That's some of the questions here. I have goosebumps and tears in my eyes. All so true. It's interesting. I feel that once you start moving on here, you're going to do amazing things. Right, the numerology with this is interesting because you've got 6, 6, 12, 13, 17, 178. You're a 178 by the card. So the energy you're going through is the 8, which just ties up this beautifully. It's self-power. Being in your own essence, which I love that word. It's almost like sometimes is to find a note. Find a note, which is not a note of paper, but a note in you that you can sing to or vibrate to, and that's your soul singing. It's your soul's vibration. And once you're in tune with that, what is it your soul wants? Soul wants it. What's the inner peace that you're looking for? I know what you're saying now about children, but I say we can't answer that one. But what I can say to you here is taking that power back into yourself and thinking, I feel really good about me. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, let's go and zip up the line here and come back down. Now, we're just seeing Christiana there. We're also now going to come down to, looking for the next one. Oh, we got Giochi Nova. Giochi Nova just come through. He's, right, just going to get his, right. 7th, 78, okay, and his colour is orange, and he's put this all over the place. So his question is in one part, his date of birth in another, and his colours in another part. So I've got to go and find this as we work through here. There we go. We've got it all together here. Dear. Right. 7th, 1978, colour orange. Question is, there's a lack of clarity for the immediate future. Will I still be in Europe, Spain, or Portugal, or somewhere else? Wow, what a question. I love questions like this. So that's great. First of all, what I'd like to say to you here is right, I've got to go straight away with this because there's this gentleman who's coming through and he's playing drums. But this sounds like drums of a marching band rather than drums of a rock band. But I've just got to put through drums anyway because this guy's playing drums. And there's about 2 to 3 energies that are coming through here. And there's also a lady here who I pick up is one of your, I believe, one of your grandmothers. But she tells me here, she said she either didn't know you very well or there was no meeting at all by the energy that she's given me, the distance that she puts back here. She's watching you, she says here. She's watching you with deep interest. And she's working with you here. And she knows there's been a lot of emotion with you and that you're expressing this emotion. And sometimes tears come into your eyes. And this is what she's telling me. And she says to me here, she says, sort of being in your own self here, although meditation is good, like I say this, being careful not to go too far down with this because then we sink too deep. But it's about the inspiration of coming up. Now, what I pick up here, they're saying to me here is some of your ways in front of you is, although we like to find the answer within, the answer is going to come to you, but it's external. It's the invitations to you that are going to start to come into your life, which are going to let you know where you're going to. It's not about running away. It's about coming to. And it's interesting here because they're also saying to me here, as I hear from this lovely lady here, she says here that there is a lot of abandonment, she says, in the family. She just says to me here, a lot of abandonment. A lot of people went different ways and it felt like, oh, where am I? What am I doing here? We're doing here. And sometimes those feelings come back up. So you're going through these now going, what's going on? Why is my life like this? There's memories from way back there. That's not with the current time. That's the judgment of the current time that's bringing this in, thinking it's now. It's not. It's about associations coming into your life in front of you and people saying, we need you. So look for where you fit into, not going into the emotion and thinking, why am I so lost? It's not. It's taking up the opportunity in front of you by speaking, relating to people, and watching where things go. The magic will start to happen, but it'll be different. You'll find your life being very different and you'll resonate differently, but you're going to detach from the past, detach old emotion, and you, my friend, I think are going to be very, very strong.
Yeah. So it's karmic, yes. You have Chiron in Taurus, and it's trining the Sun, Saturn in Virgo. So there's Sun, Saturn is like having a strict father or father who works all the time. So that wouldn't be a present father. Then you have an opposition from that Chiron in Taurus, which is talking about the connection to the body with the Moon Uranus in Scorpio. So mom wasn't present in her body either. So dad might have been more present in his body, but he wasn't there. Mom wasn't present in her body, in spite of the fact that she was there. So little baby was there in the middle, like saying, like you were saying before, no, where is everybody? Everybody's gone. Now what do I do? I'm alone. No. Yes. So then that lack of reference and that need to close that circle, which isn't like to connect mom and dad and to connect people, is distracting your energy from where it has to go. Right. So for your energy to go where it has to go, you have to accept the gift in being the baby lost. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little baby, I'm here, mom is here, but she's not here, dad is here, but he's not there. So what does that mean? That means I'm free to party. Yoo-hoo. And that, so when you acknowledge that, then you can integrate also mom and dad, which is what's the best of mom, what's the best of dad. Integrate them. There's a Lilith conjunct Jupiter. Lilith is in Cancer. And with that integration, with understanding what did you inherit from your mom, that was good. What did you inherit from your dad, that was good. How you can integrate that together, like have both things inside you. You don't need to have a connection with mom and dad to be healed, to be able to integrate that. Then with your North Node in Virgo is just take little steps forward, like do the Camino de Santiago, do something like that just connects you to putting one foot in front of the other and see what's coming up.
Yes. I almost get the feeling here as well. It's a bit like the one-man band. You play the ukulele, you play the banjo, and your foot's playing the drum, and something else here. It is a bit like adapting something here. Though you think here, hey, I would like to have a job which looks like this. And sometimes the universe says here, well, yeah, maybe that's coming at some point. However, what really is coming is something else. It's just little bits here and there. So it's like, oh, I've got a little bit of the bass drum. Now I'm playing a little bit of the banjo. Now I'm playing the ukulele. But it's all different things here. And to work with it, just resonate and go through this here, because sooner or later, ping, all starts to come back up.
It's interesting your comment there. That was the other way around. So dad was the one without a job who was not present, who was in his mind, and mom was the hardworking one. So
Yeah.
that means the roles are inverted in your mind, which means that you look for mom by being like dad, no? So you're
Yes.
searching for mom by being like dad. So you
Yes.
think you're going to be complete, you're going to feel okay and secure, mom, by being like dad, just not working, not doing
Yes.
anything.
Yes. Yes, I do feel best when I'm just going. Like exactly, Camino would feel best as is a constant newness and change. I don't like the past. No, I can understand you don't like the past, and
Exactly,
it's
but
not relating the past to the present time. That's what they're telling me
exactly,
here. Yes.
exactly. And to be able to do that, you have to accept yourself on your own.
Exactly. Yes. What an interesting morning. Right. Five of Hearts. Five of Hearts here. Interesting card here. Lovely with the butterflies. Yes. No, it's well, one thing about this card I always like about this. Yes, I see stress at the present time, but it's about what you're going to do now to spring yourself forwards in order to look for things here. You may not be working in businesses that you want to, but you will be earning money for businesses with other people. For example, they say, hey, Jochi, we need you over here. We need you over here. In which case, go. Go.
Yeah.
And do not be hard on yourself. Stop the hardness on yourself. Stop it. Just let it go. Just float with the universe and let the universe guide you where you're going to, because you will be fine. You will be fine. And it's going to be interesting. So, and interesting here is it's almost like saying, well, I'm a boat. Universe, you're the, I've got a sail. Universe, you're the wind. Take me the direction I need to go in, and it will come to you. But you'll find people will be inviting you. That's going to be the strong point. Okay, right. Okay, let's go and do a little bit of this. In fact, where are we now? Oh, in fact, we just got a just looking down a line. Here we go. Next, we've got okay. We've got. There's. I'll just look at the next
Lisa?
one. Here we go. I think we're going to Cynthia. Cynthia, she comes through. Will I adopt a dog? She's got other question here somewhere as well. Something. Will I get a message from my brother? That's the one I'm more. I'd like to work on there. Cynthia, she says, will I get a message from my brother? But I'll just go back to this. Colour blue, 2nd of 12th, 77. Very, very nice to meet you, Cynthia. And right, let's start working with you a little bit. Cynthia, the first thing I'd like to say to you here is would you understand here that you felt physically in yourself here that you have been out of sorts? Out of sorts. Would you understand physically? Like, for instance, maybe we've been too light. Maybe we've been something else here, whatever it is. But I just see here this energy around you. I also see, Cynthia, that there's this energy with you too, which has a connection. I'll just check here. I got that right. Yes, a connection here to say here. Would you understand? Who is the smoker, please? Who is the smoker? There's a gentleman here who's smoking, quite dark haired, and he tells me here he had a quiet chuckle to him, a quiet laugh, quite loud. Wasn't an expressively loud man, but this gentleman is here saying he's here and he's watching you, and he also wants to say to me here. He says here that. He shows me his head as being fine, but he looks at the rest of his body. He says, yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That wasn't in order. And that's part of the reason why he passed away. So I get the feeling is partially a whole body thing, the reason why this particular gentleman passed over. And he's saying to me here too, he says here, would you understand here that he has actually come to you? They come to you and shown himself, like whether it's by smell, by scent, by feeling, but he is there. Your brother is there. And also he says to me here, he says that, would you understand the quiet moments that you two would sit down and talk? And they were very deep, intensive conversations, but very meaningful, he wants to say to me here. And so that's one of the things I pick up there. Brother, and I smoke. Yes, I felt it. Yes. Yes. Because he showed me smoking, first of all. He showed me smoking, and he showed me this vibration around you. But he is there. He has his quiet chuckle. He says he loved the quiet conversations, sometimes the deep, meaningful ones, the meaning of life in some respects. But he's there. Okay. I know we're talking, but she's also asking, we should go adopt a dog. So
what does the smoker say?
The smoker says, well, actually, the smoker says here, would you understand here, if you get a dog, this is really interesting. I've got to tell you this. Now, this comes down to personal experience, so I've got to separate the two. Don't get a puppy. Don't get a puppy, because you'll be going, what have I done? What have I done? And right.
The brother had a brain tumor.
Yeah, had a brain tumor. He just shows me his head. He just shows me his head. That's what he wanted to show me. Okay. Yes, had a brain tumor. Okay. Yeah, so he says to me, don't get a puppy, because I think you'd be going, what have I done? Well done. It's like you need a dog, like a rescue dog that's like 1 or 2 years old or something like this. Something that isn't going to drive you nuts.
Yeah, I would say also with this chart about the puppy, so there's a Sun, Neptune in Sagittarius, this Mercury, Moon in Sagittarius.
Ooh.
So it's like, oh, I want a puppy! I want a puppy! This is going to make me feel so well. I want a dog! I want a dog!
No!
And it's like, how many people do you live with? North Node in Aquarius. Have you asked them? What do they want?
Yeah. Oh
Who's
dear.
gonna take care of the dog? Who's gonna walk the dog? Who's gonna feed the dog?
Yes.
You know, so it's
Oh dear, oh dear. Only cat, she says. Only cat. So, okay. Actually, I think there is a little bit of a twist in message here. A little slight twist in message, but I'm glad we talk about that. But we're going to come on to the lady here who's asking, yeah. Yes, the two got mixed up there slightly. So don't worry about the dog. But I'm just hearing here, whenever it is about dogs or pets or animals, just don't get a puppy. If I come on to, we're going to quickly change now to
but ground yourself and meditate on it, and ask everybody around you and your family, you know, about all the details. You know, who's going to take care of the dog?
Yes.
Who's going to keep the dog? Who's going to do this? What kind of dog do we want? So, like, really share it with others, not just go on the impulse of the wow, this is so cool, no?
Right.
Okay.
And
not push the decision onto somebody else either.
Yeah.
Chiron and Aries. Chiron and Aries is, remember what I was saying before, go after your dreams, but make sure that you're 100% connected to that and not just something in your mind, you know?
Wonderful. Okay, we got Leah Cocorida.
Sorry, because the form can be different. It might not be a dog. It might be a cat. It might be a fish. It might be, I don't know, like hamster. So
a fish called Bob. Fish called Bob. What do you call him Bob for? Because all he does, he goes Bob. Bob.
And Bob the fish, Bob's apples.
Too much. Okay, right. Leah says here, now this is an interesting one. Colour green, well adopted dog. Now it's interesting here because you said, now this is what I pick up here for you, Leah, and I can go quickly into this one. I don't pick up puppies with you. I pick up an older dog. And like something that, and also, I'm going to be quite specific here. I get a dog that's 2 colours, like a brown and a white. And also I pick up here, and a dog and you are going to be perfectly matched. And it's about the size of a Staffy. About the size of a Staffy I pick up here. Not saying it is a Staffy, it's about the size. That's what I'm picking up here. Good. Right, I'll tell you what to do. We're going to shoot on to, because that's her question. That's all her question was there. I'm going to shoot on down the line. And, right, I'm just having a quick look here to see where we're going next. Right, we're going to go back up the line, and we're going to go to Lisa Morgan. She comes in at, she says, can I have a reading, please? Colour blue, general readings. Yes, certainly. Let's have a look here. Lisa, and who would I like to bring? Who wants to step forward here first? Would you understand here? Would you understand if I say to you that you're very different to the rest of maybe your family around you? Would you understand that you're very different? But this particular gentleman, I'm feeling here. He tells me here that he used to wear a uniform through the forces or police, but he was quite a strong man in the way he came across. And he's working with you and looking at you, and he's saying to me here, he says, here's an interesting question to you. Very interesting question. Would you understand that you could quite possibly move right out of area? Quite possibly. This is what he's saying to me at the moment here. And he's telling me here about your life changing so much that you may well go and think yourself, my goodness, what is it that's going on? But I do see there is an element of you, quite a big possibility of moving, but out of area. That's interesting. Anything you would like to say there?
Me?
Yes.
Lisa is also have a Sun conjunct Neptune, like Leah had. How interesting. Um, and Lilith in Aries, who wants to feel free. Lilith with Sun, who wants to um, just be who you are, express who you are, and lead from that. No, but at
Yeah.
the same time, similar theme as with Christiana. No, feeling different, feeling like you don't fit in. So what happens is you stop believing yourself, Lilith Mercury, and stop having your own ideas because you try to fit in with others in what you do and what you think. So it's important to, with that, so Sun in Capricorn can be very constricted and following, what everybody else says, but you really have to break away from that and align with your own values, not adhere to other people's values. So learn to sustain yourself more on your own, which doesn't mean alone. So, and I find this being a theme common to most of the readings we've just done.
Yes.
Learning to really
Yeah.
be you
Yes.
and owning you. And that doesn't mean that you have to be alone, separate from everybody, as separate from the people you want. It means that you have to respect your own ideas. And the goal of your life is not to connect and unite people, but to connect with your authenticity and spread that.
I think so too, and I think there's going to be something you're going to do, such as a big home move, which is completely outside of the box for you, but actually works well. So just what goes on there. Okay, Emma, you've come through here. You've gone for a general reading in blue, but we need your date of birth, please. Need your date of birth, or else we can't do that bit. I'm just seeing if we've got this further down the line. No, I haven't. Actually, coming up towards the end of the show, but yes, okay. So we're now coming up to where the moon has just had a new moon, but then we're coming up to a very unusual moon, aren't we? We've got a full moon coming up, and for some astrologers are saying out there, it's not going to be an easy one. Some of us are saying here, get prepared for change. Some of us are saying here, some are saying here, they're going to let go. It's time to let go of a lot of things in the past, but it may well come to you as a bit of a chum. How are you feeling about this full moon coming up?
What day is it? I don't look to the future.
It's a 28th. Oh, Emma's just come through. Okay, thank you, Emma. If we get a chance to do this, we will do. Right, yes, it's about 28th of April, I think it is. 26th.
22 weeks.
Yes, about 2 weeks. But what we got here is we've got the full moon. It's Uranus is involved. Uranus is very strongly connected to it, and it's squaring. I think it's squaring Saturn as well. Squaring Saturn there in that link, and I don't. It's not an easy one, but it's how we handle this. And there's a lot of Scorpio stuff in with this as well.
Well, the moon would be in a Scorpio, and all the, like, there's a stellium in Taurus that day.
Yes.
So it's Sun, Uranus, Venus, Mercury, and Lilith all in Taurus, one after the other, all in a
Yes.
stellium. Very interesting. In opposition to that moon.
Yeah.
And Taurus is a very independent sign, like Aries. It's very about, I do it on myself. I do it on my own. Don't bug me. Don't distract me. I want to concentrate on this.
Taurines are like that, all right.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that moon in Scorpio will always connect us with the lower astral energies, with the cellular memories in the past, as well as the Pluto with no aspects. So I guess it would be, Mars would be in Cancer, so Mars would relieve itself. Yeah, I can imagine, like, wanting to do things differently, wanting new values, new things, and that comes into conflict with those cellular memories, and that spurts out in anger with that Mars connected to a Mars in Cancer, and it's doing an aspect there. No, it can't be. Mars in Cancer wants to blow the energy, wants to blow the steam in Cancer, which is at home in my country with my familiar people. So it's really like, let me be. I want to do my own thing. Don't tell me what I have to do. Just leave me alone. That
Yeah,
kind of energy.
Mars is a bit of a. It's a deep. It's not in a earth or fire. It's on an air or fire sign. But it kind of boom. It connects. Right. It's blowing bubbles. It's blowing water. So there's a huffy energy to the drive of Mars. I agree with you. And I think that Taurus bit there is about your security, about your territory, your grounding around you, and where you see things. And that Scorpio bit. Yes, that is quite deep, isn't it? And it's, I think
Yeah.
as ourselves is sometimes it's a funny thing to say, but whatever changes, accept it.
Exactly. But Taurus, high Taurus, so the low Taurus is, I want to feel secure, so I want to adhere to what everybody else is thinking, but I can't stand it anymore, and this is making
Yes,
me blow up. And that Mars is connected to Jupiter, so that's like more, no? And high Taurus is all about new values. You know, what's important for you, what's valuable for you,
yes,
different from what's
yes,
valuable to others, no?
yes.
So align with that.
Okay. We're going to have a very quick reading with Emma. Emma's come in here, she's just got her details down. She's lovely to see you back, Emma. She's actually written in there saying how much she missed the show, so she's so nice. So nice. Just looking for her details there. Yes, lovely to see so many of you that have joined us this morning. It's been absolutely lovely. I'm just looking there for your details.
18191.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yes, sorry, not being. I've moved out. She's a blue general reading, and sorry, not being about. I have moved into my own place. It's been manic. I am so pleased to have caught you both. I shall catch up on all videos I've missed. Well, that's absolutely lovely. Anyway, so blue general reading. One of the things I would say with this, okay, is I keep hearing this song. And I would like to say this to you. Do you remember when we were at school, we used to sing those hymns in school? It says, dance there forever we may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. La da 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 da. Anyway, so that's what they're singing to me. So it's about being free. About being free is about expressing yourself. So general reading for you this morning with the colour blue is about expressing, being yourself, being free, and acknowledging that you are in a wonderful place within you, and that's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, again, the theme of being you doesn't mean you're going to lose the people around you. That's the fear we have. That's how we're going to feel because when you start being different, when you start being you, the people around you are going to go, "Oh my God," and they're going to pull and they want you to be as you were before because that makes them feel secure because that's how we've been relating to. But as I said, there's a general theme in all these readings, and it's be you. You're not going to lose those people,
No.
but explore being you. And then
Mm-hmm.
that will allow them to be them. Because if we stay linked in those role based relationships, we're not going to really be ourselves and we're not going to feel good in the relationship. So
We're
to
definitely
really
not. I agree. I agree.
to
Yeah.
relate to others, we have to be
Yes.
ourselves. And in this case, your moon is in Aquarius, which is a very independent, free moon. And then Saturn, Sun, and North Node are in Capricorn. Is South Node, which means South Node in Cancer. Leave the home behind, leave drama behind, leave codependency behind. But Chiron is in Cancer, saying, "Yeah, but it hurts. They didn't take care of me, and I have this really I'm wounded from when I was a little girl, and this I feel so unprotected and everything." And then all the Capricorn says, just leave it, just be you. Find the freedom that there is in having those wounds of not being nurtured and taken care of, which means you're more self-reliant and self-dependent. So take advantage of that.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah, I agree with you. I also like to say here. I would say around you, your cards are very interesting. They're a little bit not conflicting, but they get confused. And I would say here, with your cards here, is do everything that just brings you peace, relaxation, and helps you to unwind and just enjoy. Just enjoy. You can look here if you want to look for problems. You'll find them. If you want to look for
Yeah,
peace, you'll enjoy it.
yeah, but also I was just seeing the three planets. There's six planets in Capricorn.
Six,
There's
six, six.
six.
God,
Also,
if we're not
Neptune,
Capricorn, we're
Uranus,
thoroughly Capricorn. We're now
yeah,
definitely Capricorn.
Neptune, Mercury, and Uranus are also in Capricorn. So those three together are also about just having. It's a genius aspect. It's just having new ideas, bright new
Mm.
ideas to bring things out in the world. But if you're linked to your past, then you're just going to get stuck. Then you can't bring your potential out. And all you need to do is, like Phil was saying, be mindful with you. Take care of yourself. That will heal your wounds. Those wounds when you were a little girl, a little baby, of not being taken care of properly. So just take care of yourself properly, and that will heal your wounds. Because we have our inner baby in our body. If you take care of yourself, you heal. You don't need to go to a psychologist. I'm a psychologist. I'm telling you this.
I'm a psychotherapist. She's telling you this. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, right. Kaz, thank you very much for your message there. You come in and said, right, I can see what it says you're saying about Bulgaria. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time on this show, but why not join us on Friday evening? I'm joined by a lovely lady called Midia. She's works in sports science, but she's also exceptionally spiritual. And she does readings too. And she was on about 2 months ago. And it was such a nice show. We've invited her back. So come and join us. Come and join us on Friday evening. It's going to be at 8 o'clock EU, 7 p.m. UK time. I would also like to say a great big thank you to Deborah, who's been produced the show in the background. And also a big thank you to my good friend Guiomar for joining me on the show this morning. Always a lovely spiritual, astrological, chatty show where we find a lot of things to go and talk about. So, yes, join us very soon. And guys, have a terrific week. Take care. Loads of love. Loads of burgers. Loads of burgers.
Thank you. Bye.
Those burgers, because that's what makes it all up. Okay, guys, you take care. See you very soon. And I'm just looking at there. It is there. See you very soon. Cheerio now. Bye-bye.